we go. Hello, hello, and welcome to another Friday here. We're running a playtest stream with me. My name is Jens, and I'm a lead game designer here at amazing little global company. Sorry, my throat is a little bit wonky right now. There we go. We have things running in the background. So yeah. We are back here at another of bi-weekly streams, going through some update 10 content, and we are, as the title depicts, gonna jump into the playtest tonight, and we're starting the stream a little bit earlier. We'll keep going for, I don't know, until we feel like we're done for the evening, night, with whatever the time may be. If you've got any questions, you know, just pop them over in the chat. Got both Twitch chat and YouTube chat open, so I'll see things as kind of rolling on. Yeah, I think it's just, you know, we'll run through it. So this is going to be a little bit different because normally we just kind of highlight features or going into specific kind of subjects, topics. And this time I will be jumping in on the playtest that we have starting a few minutes ago on White Tiger, which is our kind of bigger customized server that is not just running kind of default stock things. It has a pre-made government, and we can kind of go over some of that when we jump into it. So just gonna pop in here right away with our new avatar creator. Since I haven't really set up an avatar I'd like to use, so one of the key features among many for update 10, if you haven't kept track on what's going on or what we're doing, the avatar is now created on the client side, which means it's retained in memory in between server joins and launches. So you can create your avatar, it's stored locally, and when you join a server, you're no longer prompted to create a character on that server join. It'll just grab the avatar that you have saved. If you then do edits to your avatar in terms of outfits and whatnot, you join on a separate server, it'll use that new information that you stored, but it won't alter the outfits on that server because that server already has all that data then generated and stored. So if you want to do changes to your character on the existing server, you get to use one of the ways of doing so, which is the dressers, and it has some implementation for avatar edits, which is also where you can go to change out outfits and so on. Yeah, just kind of hammering away at figuring out what I want to have avatar wise. Not a whole lot to it, you know. Most of the options originally here now is things that we've had before in the old avatar builder, but it is kind of separating it out from the server stuff, making it clean and nice on away from the server data originally, to make sure that you don't have to recreate your avatar or recreate your color choices every single time. Just increasing that quality of life a bit. Do I want to have a belt? I want to have a tool belt. Can we get a brown darkish leathery thing here going on? And then we also did a revamp of the backpacks. The backpacks now look really nice and clean. As you can see, you can change out different details on them. I'm over. When do boats come out? They're coming out in this update. It is probably see some during the playtest here. Maybe we'll see. I'll probably do more streams on as we go through the White Tiger playtest, as I'll continue on through the cycle. But Tiger has its own kind of quirks and is a bit of a behemoth when it comes to changes that we've done locally as kind of modded changes for research. So research takes a significant amount of longer time compared to your vanilla experience kind of thing. Let's do some workshop thing going on here. And another thing that we are going to be adding, or they are added on the staging branch, but they're not really... they'll pop out on the playtest branch probably sometime during next week. It'll be a slew of new outfits that will be specific to kind of the starter outfits, and we're still debating whether or not we want these to be craftable or not. If we want to keep them unique as kind of the starter outfits only, you can't craft them, so you're kind of limited to it. But that's still, you know, cause for speculation. Who knows? Come with drop in some suggestions, and if you want to see those as kind of unique separate ones. Do I want to have some grayish fedora thing going on? Maybe the whole, not entirely white, but maybe just a smidge. Everyone loves hats, right? Best part of an outfit, the hat. So I've been speculating about what to do on Tiger here for professions and specialty. And I'm leaning towards farming and doing some town civics things. So we'll see what we do once I get out on the map and have a look and see. Have a look-see and what we're dealing with. Seems alright. Do I want to have that shirt? Do I want to have that shirt? Maybe I'll do that shirt. Just do change out the white to... Probably fine. We got, do we want to have some, maybe some stub? That's probably fine. We happy with that? We're probably happy with that. There we go. Then we get to... Yeah. This is a little bit slow. I think we can speed that up a little bit, but yes, we'll do some border. Kinda don't want to have backdrop, don't want to have a white one. Maybe. Maybe something like that. That's probably fine. Inconspicuous gangster. That's what I draw from that character. Closing that down. There we go. Your worlds, and then we go White Tiger. Hit the join. It's a whole heap load of people on it. The red wires on the chat. Hello, hello, hello. I wonder if, let me know if I need to pick up and increase the game audio as well, because it might be a little bit low. And I also have two fantastic cats that are rummaging around here, so if they get a bit distracted, it'll probably be because they're causing a ruckus. Yeah, so White Tiger has some custom rules, some specific kind of mechanics, and it's also using some of the some community mods that have some interesting legislative impact, and also deals with things like an actual kind of group mechanic, if you will, to help manage different properties when you're playing as a team, and so on, which is this special restriction here. Yeah. So the new spawn system allows you to kind of pick and choose where you want to be spawning, and it runs an algorithm on some criteria for making sure that there's food available, different types of materials, and harvestability. That we're looking at. I probably want to change this out to 2D map mode, just to get a better overview of what we're looking at. And of course the map is stretched here, so this mountain over here is part of this one. Do not be confused. And here we have cat helper be helping. Nope. Nay. Thank you. Turn cat around 180 degrees and cat is satisfied, walking away. We want to look at, if I want to do farming, I want to be looking at plant groups and checking through where we can plant different things before I decide on where to kind of spawn in and start off. We do have the global markers for the federal bank and the federal university. So this is the capital district location. I think these districts should be set up here somewhere. I go here, and then we've got the Unica zoning map. So Unica has their own kind of plot restrictions and limitation as to how you can buy, and these are kind of set up. And what is the GM district not? Is that not being a thing? And then you've got a couple of pre-made districts that just handles further expansions and legal stuff that's coming out. We got the federal districts for roads access. Yeah, those are 00, and we are. Where is 00? Where's that bad boy? It's down there. Yeah. There's the dark abyss of the world at the exact 00 point to deal with that. Hello, Elmai, as well. We have some property already tagged in. We got a lot of people rummaging around. I see the desert is, as always, a high traffic area. Environmental data. So I wanted to take a look at. And hello, Ryan Red. Good to see you found your way in here. A plant group, yield potential, and so question is, do I jump the bandwagon and just do flax like everyone else, or that's not too bad. We have, I mean, we've got this whole thing here, just gathering. Yeah, I think let's do a coastal thing. What else do we have here? We've got kusten där. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Do we have a spawn point nearby? We got one in the mountains. It's gonna be very, very treeless.
It's fine.
Hmm?
We're not doing trees.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah. Let's start in this hillside here. And then as we click start, hopefully it will let me in as well. Oh, no, anybody on there? That's a very good question. Why am I not loading in? I wonder if we found our first little snag in the evening here. Well, I've loaded in on the other client, but it's not actually. There we go. You know what? I'm not sure. It might be that I have. Maybe it did some weird queuing thing. Yeah. There we go. So now we are heading towards that coastline, and I think we will do a little coastal town, or at least try to do a little coastal town. We've got a fair bit of desert here as well. We might be able to do something about. So let's do a. Oh, we can title town. There we go. And then we change color just so we can see it brightly. We want to have it brightly showed, not hidden away in a little corner. There we go. So now we have a town marker there. And we also got some new tutorials for camera controls and things like that, but I'm gonna be radical here and kind of skip the tutorial because I think I am fairly qualified to not go through the tutorial, at least at this particular stage. But then again, you know, you can get lost in the trees, and then suddenly you don't know what you're doing. Eat your beans. I don't know about that. Elmai, since you're the resident experienced white tiger kind of what was the word I was looking for? Veteran. What do you reckon the time release until farming skill? I should have gone around. Can I go over? I can go over. Can we make it to the other shoreline? We can make it to the other shoreline. There we go. Swim away, swim away. I'm not sure how we're gonna sustain ourselves with food, but I guess grabbing some something. Can I plant tomatoes down there? We were discussing tomatoes in the chat earlier, and tomatoes are good. So we're good on tomato, and we've got some wheat, and we can do some other stuff. So yeah, we'll be fine. And there's some corn I see here as well. Because I am tempted to just aim for farming skill. Yeah, probably in a few hours. Aim for farming skill and just recruit someone to do gathering for me. So here we go. We are at a fairly flat area. We've got some oaks here. So that is nice. We can also do some Joshua replantation here. Yeah. Do I want the town hall? Just do prickly pear is all good along the river. Then we got that flax here right along. So let's do the town. Coming up with amazing plans there, then someone's gonna settle right smack in the middle, and I don't know what I'll do. Look at that, we even got some tomatoes. Amazing. Superb. So we were talking about White Tiger kind of having their own, you know, preset things and configurable, like, custom things going on. So at the start of White Tiger, so these are all kind of pre-made and imported, and the C is constitutional things, so those are like always kind of reiterated, and they've kind of grown over the years as Tiger has been more and more polished over what it can do with laws and interactions. It can be quite bulky to kind of figure out what's going on and you know what is going where and how things are going and so on. So White Tiger is, for anyone that is just hopping on and getting into Tiger, it has a what's referred to as a UBI, or a Universal Basic Income. So when, in this case here, when a game master is initializing UBI, it'll start to record kind of custom statistics, which is then used. It's gained on, you gain a stat for logging in, and then it's kind of tracks and pays you by hourly rate for a basic income to kind of help players get some basic moonies to be able to kind of sustain themselves in buying basic foods, as that's another big kind of hot potato on Tiger. Where do I want to set on the camp? Just flat down here maybe. Ska du slänga ner det tält någonstans? Can do it over here in between this valley, maybe. Or do I want to do it on the actual coastline? Maybe I'll do it on the actual coastline here. Yeah. There we go. So, new thing with the settlements and 10.0, you now have limited amount of properties based on how many claim stakes that you have access to. So at the start, you only have the one property. These have some preset limitations in terms of how many plots you can claim. The default is 16. And you expand that by using your claim tool. So the old kind of thing got renamed, revamped. It's looking a bit differently. And if I grab that, and we'll grab our basic tools. Don't think I need a machete right now. First priority is going to be doing a campfire. Let's see here. Maybe you need to ramp up audio. Gonna pop up the music a bit, and then we're gonna lower it on the background on the stream, so we don't have overlapping audio tracks when it does happen. So testing out audio level for that, so let me know if it's too loud or if it's too soft, just to kind of have it slightly in the background to give a bit of less emptiness when I'm not talking. Yeah, there we go. So let's do, looks like texture mapping is being a bit wonky. So if we're looking at this, we want to do our campfire. Same procedure as last year in terms of craftables for the early things. We want to make a tool bench fairly quickly. We want to make a campfire fairly quickly because food is excessively important to be cooking when it comes to Tiger. So we want to be using as few kind of basic calories as possible, which also means that oak probably wasn't the soundest tree to start cutting down. That is very true, Snow Queen. That is very true. When the update is coming out? Well, it is starting to be a lot more stable, so we'll hopefully have a release date for you as soon as possible. What is going on with the rubble pieces? They are doing something. Yeah, they're doing something, all right. So do we have enough labor, or do we have enough calories to do the labor for the campfire here? That is the question. No, we only need 4 more stones. And 1 more piece. There we go. Any changes to early meat diet? In terms of restrictions, or you're thinking nutrient gains and so on? Which also reminds me, did we... Don't think that was in there. So we've got a couple of custom things going on for Tiger in terms of recipes that are unique to White Tiger and not something that is on default, like default changes to it. Which also reminds me I need to switch out some of these block changes because they're a bit obsolete. But one being food gates as well as housing gates. I'm not sure, is the housing actually active? Elmai, do you know? I have not kept up with the GM chat as much as I should have. I know the food changes or the food gates are in there. So basically, specific crafts and specific professions require a certain amount of basic nutrition. And these are readable inside the Ecopedia on F1 and under changelog and food changes. And then you also have housing changes, which is limiting the late professions to needing specific or a large / good enough house to do the labor of those types as well. So in this, things like gathering, logging, mining, hunting, butchery, farming, campfire cooking, or any of the unskilled kind of labors has no nutrient gates, which is amazing for me because my intention was to go farming. However, I will need some if I want to expand on and do fertilizer, which means I'll need to be hitting that 24 nutrition at the minimum. And note that these gates are something that we can do due to Thomas's expansion on some of the civic game values. Let's do hide the crop one. Don't need to see that. We want to see property toggle. I probably want to have that show in world, just so I can see where my map is. And we have some tasks set up to actually change out. So when you're holding your objects and going to place them, it'll show the property map, so you know that you're always placing things on your land basically, and not having to Can I guesstimate where this ends up? So now we have that placed. We can do some cooking. Do we want to do? I am running out of labor. Running out of calories to do labor with. Too hungry to do that. God dang it. We need to eat. Let's just annoy Cat here a bit and eat the tomato, since that was huge part. There we go. And now we can throw in some logs and that'll pop up the fire. And that'll give us some charred fish. And we can also do some... being heretical here and doing some tomatoes as well. One fish go and then we'll switch over. The tomatoes are faster to craft. Yeah, so some asset upgrades, as you can see here. If you haven't seen it before, this is the new Campfire. Disable properties, we don't have to see that. Our team has been doing an amazing job at upgrading a lot of these, and more upgrades are coming. As a lot of assets have been built and been added over the course of the years, and Eco's been in development for a while. You know, they've been getting better at fitting things in and seeing what works, what doesn't work. It's also a huge pass on optimizing the assets as well. So a lot of kind of creating the individual pieces and then compiling them together to make them use the same kind of textures and the same pool of things. So when you have, you know, 4 workbenches, you don't have 4 unique workbenches, you have 4 identical workbenches with the same things on them, so they can just use less memory, which is something that we're moving forward with post 10 things, and just keep improving and optimizing. Here we got some cooked meat. We'll switch over to some tomatoes as well to get some diet in there. Taking a chunky bite here. And then we are gonna keep hammering away at the trees. And our goal being... the general goal next is gonna be a workbench, and then it's gonna be a tool bench. Workbench, since we need access to all the other things, and then a tool bench to make sure that we can repair our tools once they get broken. We're just collecting some wood here. Now we're gonna need some stone to get that tool bench up. Vad händer med de här spökstenarna? Det är som... Cursed the version 10 playtest. It's been such an upgrade in my enjoyment for Eco that I can't go back to version 9. That is very true. It's been my curse as well. I've been wanting to kind of get back on a public cycle, just to kind of play it in general, but I've been busy with with working on it. But it's also been kind of a curse and a blessing, I guess. But when you're working on a project like this, stream snipe. When you're working on a project like this, it is very easy to kind of get lost in. You're always kind of thinking ahead. You're always like 2 steps ahead compared to the rest of the community around you when you're actually playing with the community. So, you know, you're looking at something and they might have feedback about XYZ, and in the back of your head, you know that XYZ is going to be fixed in update, you know, U or P or whenever whatever comes along. And you can share the frustration in some of these cases where, you know, I see something that really bugs me and I want to change it. And I know it's going to change, but not entirely sure when. Dennis is already arresting someone. But yeah, overall, it's awesome to just be able to hop in and play along and kind of just